And join me dancing to the theme.
Exactly. Hey guys, how's everybody doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Dawn from Two Hip Chicks and my best buddy, TC.
I'm TC from TKR VideoCentral.
Very good, very good. Well timed.
Your chair is making unpleasant noises.
Ooh, it's time for the WD-40. Time for WD-40.
Hello
Yes,
to Mom Knows Treasures.
Mom Knows Treasures here.
Ping G.
Ping G is here.
Ping
exactly.
G.
Nice. Welcome. I will try to keep my chair movement down to a minimum. Just you know how it is. You buy the cheap chair, and then there it goes. I'm a big girl. I need a more substantial chair, obviously. So look at this. Mary's here. Hey, Mary. Hi, sweetie. How you doing?
Hey, Mary. Hi, little Debbie.
Little Debbie's here. Michelle Noel Creations is here. Welcome, guys. So we played a little bit of a. We didn't tell anybody what the topic was going to be tonight.
Yeah.
And it wasn't TC's fault. Truthfully, it was my fault, for I did not come up with a dang title, topic until the 11th and a half hour or whatever. So, do you want to tell them what the topic is today, TC?
Since you came up with it, why don't you tell them?
Yeah, it's my choice. Okay, so it's not a lot of news to anybody, or it might be news to somebody. We just recently acquired a lot of CDs. And when I say a lot, I mean my favorite term, butt ton. So what happened was I came across a CD of an artist who I had known from their acting career, but I did not realize that they had a musical career as well. Mm-hmm. And it kind of sparked, a little thought in my head. It's like, what actors, politicians, whatever, sports people, anything, any other vocation that you came across, you know them from one thing, and then suddenly you realize, suddenly you realize they played music. They had an album. They put out a song. They performed music in some way, shape, or form, and it just kind of surprised you. So that was the topic. I told them never to call me here. I hate when that happens. So mine was, well, I'll let you do yours first, because I have one and he's got a bunch of them, right?
Well, that's okay. Go ahead. You started off.
Go ahead, do mine?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys, let me just put it this way. It's a female artist. She was in Dazed and Confused, I want to say. One of her smaller parts. I think that was it. She was in Fifth Element. She was in Resident Evil. Am I ringing any bells yet? So, yeah, it is from 1994, Mila Jovovich. And here's a CD I found. She actually put out an album. And I don't know. Is this the only one she did? I really don't know.
I actually don't know. I think she did a couple or two or three, actually.
So there you go. This basically, that's how I know her from, or what I know her from. And yeah, not a bad album, not a great album, but not a bad album. So I was Mary found it and she's like, do you know this person? I'm like, oh my God, yes, I do. So we were digging through CDs and there she is. So yeah, that surprised me. The cover is very interesting as well, not counting the price sticker over here, but
yeah.
So yeah, it is called The Divine Comedy. It's called Mila. Her performing name was Mila, only she didn't go by her last name very much back then. So
what the hell?
Yeah,
she was Madonna or something.
Yeah, Mila.
I mean, really.
Make it happen, Kat. Why not?
Yeah.
I think it works for me. So yeah, so that was mine. No, I don't have a lot of other ones. There are other ones in my past that I was surprised that the person actually sang. Like, oh, I don't know.
Bruce Willis comes to mind.
Yeah.
I mean, today's kids saying is a relative term with him. I mean, people who see
Bruno,
him today,
right?
Yeah, may not realize Bruce had two fairly successful albums in the late 80s. Return of Bruno was actually a top 10 album and produced a top 10 hit. So did Don Johnson and Heartbeat. So, every TV actors and stuff. In fact, actors is what the two I pulled here are both actors. And I talked about these on my Obscuria list last week on my station over at TKR VideoCentral. how many people remember Al Corley? Al Corley was the original Stephen Carrington on Dynasty back in the 1980s, and he actually released a couple of albums in the 1980s. This is
Yeah,
Spare
I
Rooms, the
recognize that
first album. He was a bigger hit in Europe than he was here, but he has a kind of voice that you either love or hate, and I actually enjoy it. I have both of his albums. It's Europop from the mid '80s,
I got some good.
And it's
we got
good.
some good comments going here. No way. Yeah, no kidding. Is it any good? Yeah, it's not bad. It you know, certain songs I think are better than others, as is with any album. What can't she do? Says Angry Otter Comics. So yeah, and by the way, thank you, Angry Otter, for the collection of items that I bid on that I didn't get. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Mom Knows Treasures. What's her last name? It is spelled Jovovich, and I think it's Jovovich.
Yeah.
Thank you. I wanted to make sure I wasn't killing it. And Kevin Bacon, Mary says.
Kevin Bacon, the Bacon Brothers. They released a number of albums in the 90s. We sold quite a few of them when I worked for Transworld. It's folk rock and, kind of garage pop. He's good. He's really good. Yeah, go down to Angry Otter there. Michael Damian actually started as a singer, not as an actor. He got into acting to launch his music career, but he was actually a singer first. He was part of his family band called the Weirs, but acting is what he got known for. And then, of course, it took him forever on Young and the Restless before he actually had a hit with Rock On, a remake of Rock On. So, hello, Anne's Arts and Craps. I love your name, Anne. That is such a
great name, isn't it? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. First thought of when the topic came up. Yeah, exactly. Now, Rick Springfield, I can't remember if he was an actor first or a singer.
Singer.
He was a singer first. Okay.
People knew them as actors because that's how they were making their money in the 70s. Springfield actually was with a band called Zoot in his native Australia before breaking here with Speak to the Sky in 1972, which people don't realize because it was 9 years before he had another top 40 hit. He was known as an actor from guest spots on, I don't know, Wonder Woman and
soap operas too,
soap operas, and then Dr. Miller Drake Heartthrob on General Hospital when Jesse's Girl came out and they just exploded.
Right. But then also he was in Battlestar Galactica. He was like the little brother of.
Yep, he died.
They died first episode. Pilot, I'm sorry, buddy.
Minutes.
It sucks. But his musical career did much better.
DC, Taylor Momsen. She's also a lot of people don't realize she's a singer as well as an actress.
Good to know. Good to know.
And
General Hospital.
Going back up to Angry Otter. Yeah, Nicole is not necessarily a singer. She sings, but she's just like Meryl Streep. Meryl sings, but she's not a singer.
Do they have an album? Did Nicole come out with an album?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Unless she did in Australia.
They do sing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who would have expected an album out by the greatest American hero too?
Not me. You just froze, buddy. Hopefully TC's internet will come back.
Yeah, and we're both down. There we go.
There you are.
Okay. William Catt,
locked up there for a minute.
After he became a star of the Greatest American Hero, cut this album under Billy for some reason. Produced by a number of different people, but this is actually a really good album. He's a decent rocker, pop rock singer, and I like it. I recommended it to people. If you can find
DC wants to know. DC wants to know if the Blues Brothers count. Maybe.
I mean, you see them. You didn't know that they were able to do that before they started performing that way. I never knew John and Dan were singers, so that was news to me. Excuse me, I got to get a drink of water.
But they're playing characters who are singers, though.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
but they did tour.
I mean, it works. So. Yeah, true. They did, and that's true. Didn't know he was Australian. Yeah. Me either, actually, now that you mention it.
Rick Springfield.
David Hasselhoff.
Rick
Mr.
Springfield
Hasselhoff.
is got rid of that Australian accent by the mid 70s when he was acting. He was advised to get rid of it, even though if you see his there's a cartoon series he was the star of in 1973 called Mission Magic, and it was actually you hear his real accent in that, so it's funny.
I
David
guess that
Cassidy,
Australian accents probably weren't big then. They're better now.
Yeah, but back in Hollywood, they were always like, I'm just looking at all the names popping up here.
I know. I got ahead of myself here. Yeah, I went down the list.
David Hasselhoff is one of those people that he can sing, but when the album he recorded in the mid 80s, he really isn't very good on it. Kim likes it. She was a big fan of his. But I didn't think it was very good, although it was not Pierce Brosnan in Mamma Mia either. So, that was a tragedy. David Cassidy, yeah, actor first, and then singer. He didn't actually start singing until the Partridge Family came along.
William Shatner.
Little Debbie has a masochistic streak, obviously.
Oh, honey.
Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Rex Smith. Rex Smith is interesting because Rex actually started as the leader of a punk prog band called Rex. If you look at if you listen to the first two albums, which are by the band, I mean, if you're into prog and it's got like an industrial sound to it too, it would, and then you listen to those two albums and then listen to the third album, which is Sooner or Later from the TV movie, and it's a completely different monster. And then Rex started acting only when Sooner or Later came along, so he was a musician first. But it was
interesting.
He did some great stuff when he was recording, and it's a shame that he didn't stick with it.
Burl Ives, there you go.
I think he always did both. He was always.
I want to say that I've always, those kind of walked hand in hand, and truly a lot of Burl Ives I remember from the Hanna-Barbera, or was it a Hanna-Barbera? Yeah, the Christmas stories. Frosty. Rankin Bass. Yes, thank you. Yeah, for sure. So Ricky Nelson. Yeah, he did start acting in that show before he started singing. Truly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Patrick Swayze. That was another one.
Swayze is awesome. I was always amazed Patrick never did decided he just never recorded that much. So she's like the wind.
It wasn't bad.
Raised in Heaven and Hell Tonight from the Roadhouse soundtrack, the only two places I've seen him. So
he wasn't that auto-tuned either, was he? I mean, he did a pretty good. Did a pretty good job.
Auto-tuned didn't exist back then, Don.
Well, you know what I mean. Okay, how about creative editing? Soft editing.
Chambers. They were called echo chambers back then.
Yeah, that's
people like Leif Garrett and Scott Baio used them. It was echo chambers, and you couldn't. And even the best echo chamber could not help Scott Baio. I mean, Scott got better on his second album, but that first album, that is a clunker from beginning to end.
Yeah, I had a hard time.
And that song that came out, What Was in That Kiss, was the single from the first album he did in 1981 or 82. It actually hit #1 on the top 40 station in Hawaii.
Why?
I don't know.
Good for him. Sorry, that was not really well put, was it? Fergie comes to mind. Yeah.
Fergie.
Those treasures.
Fergie. How many people know Fergie started as a child actress?
I didn't know that.
Fergie is Stacey Ferguson from Kids Incorporated, a show that ran 6 or 7 seasons in the late 80s and early 90s, first in syndication, then on the Disney Channel. She was one of several big kids in there to come out of there. Martika came out of that show. Rashawn Patterson came out of that show. They were, but she's by far the most successful. Renee Sams came out of that show too.
Wow.
She's done well.
I was like, so too. If you heard it sing it live on TV once or twice.
Yeah, he might
Bill
have
of the
had
Dead.
stuff. I don't know.
Fergie was on the Electric Company. Okay, very cool. Hello, Johnny. How you doing, buddy? Today's topic is artists that you knew for other things other than singing, and you realized that you found, like I did, um, Mila Jovovich's one and only album, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And
So that was the topic today.
Mom, there was a girl who looked very much like her on the Electric Company. I can't remember her name. She was one of the later members of the Short Circus. She replaced Denise Nickerson. I can't remember. I think her name on the show was Rain, Rayn, and I can't remember what her real name was, or maybe that was her real name. I don't know.
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner is an awesome singer. He released a great set of singles a few years ago, country flavored singles, which kind of surprised me.
I think this is Mickey Mouse Club, right? Brittany, Justin, Christina. Isn't that all Mickey Mouse?
All three of them, yep. And they weren't the only ones. That show was very prolific. So,
well, Disney had a great way of finding talent, right? I mean, these kids obviously were very talented. JC still
came
are.
out of there. Tony Luca came out of there.
Yeah.
Who was with a Latino boy band I can't remember the name of for a while. That show really had a lot of talent, and the party. The members of the party all came from the Mickey Mouse Club too.
Oh yeah, Little Debbie's Alanis Morissette. Stoneman tells me you're not a fan.
I love Alanis. She's great, but if you've ever seen her, when she first left You Can't Do That on Television, her debut album, which is available in Canada, I've never tried to get it. It's a Tiffany-esque album. Okay. It's not what she became known for later in life.
Her Jagged Little Pill days, yeah.
Jagged Little Pill forward, she's fantastic. But I've seen her on a couple of TV performances of some of that stuff from the first album. And man, now you'd think she was doing Tiffany imitations.
It's probably, she had to find her own voice or find the right voice for her, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe she loved Tiffany and wanted to be Tiffany, but it wasn't meant to be.
And I don't even remember her that well on that You Can't Do That on Television, because by the time she was on, I had stopped watching all the time, even though, I was hardly the demographic for the show at the time it was on. I was in my 20s, but I found it hilarious and became fans of all of them. And I missed that original Nickelodeon lineup. I loved them, even though I was, 19, 20, 21. Love those shows.
It was before she was pissed off. Before she'd been slighted and jaded by,
Before
men, I guess. I don't know.
Sarah McLachlan led the angry white chick phase of pop music. Yeah.
Yeah, the angry white phase, the angry white chick phase. It's a great song, though, you got to admit. And you always remember those songs.
Oh, ouch, Mom.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. This one?
No. She actually hadn't dated. No, she didn't date John Stamos.
Oh, the other guy. No, she dated the... Yes. And he did mess with her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen him act, and it would probably... I can understand that, for sure.
She also...
But John Stamos wasn't there.
Yeah, John Stamos actually has released a few things with different projects. He was known as... There was an album that came out from a very short-lived show he did in 1985 called Dreams. They were just on my pop retro countdown this week. John was the star of that show. It lasted 5 weeks in the fall of 1985 on CBS. Jamie Gertz was also a part of that cast.
Not a long-lived series there.
No, but he didn't do most of the leads. A lady named Valerie Stevenson was the lead singer for most of the songs.
John Stamos did music with the Beach Boys,
and he was with the Beach Boys for years. Yeah, off and on.
Which amazes me. How do you make that? How do you make that connection?
I don't know.
I don't know.
When you think about it, you don't really think of Daryl Dragon and Tony Tennille being part of the Beach Boys either, but they were. Yeah. That's where they met before they became the Captain and Tennille. They were both Beach Boys tour people, and John was just a big fan of theirs. They invited him on stage one day, and it just went on for 20 years, off and on.
I will always remember John Stamos being a drummer on the tour with the Beach Boys. Yeah, truly.
Did you get to see him when he was doing it live? That would have been cool. I've never seen the Beach Boys, so
I've seen video of it.
truthfulness, I've never been that interested in seeing them live, but that's okay.
Dude, we're learning so much about what you don't like now. It's just
well, I do love their music. I've never been that interested in seeing them live because Brian didn't tour with them, and Brian was a genius. So just
true.
wow.
Yep, he saw him live.
Lucky you. That would have been cool.
That would be neat. That would be neat. So yeah, in case you're just coming in, welcome everybody. Sorry if we didn't say hello to you personally. But we're talking about artists that were famous for other things besides singing, and then you've discovered that they put out an album or that they did a music video or whatever. Eddie Murphy, that was one that came to mind too.
Debbie has the guts to put those two people in the same chat box.
Jamie Foxx. Now, I don't know if it was
awesome.
I've seen Jamie Foxx portray many good musicians, or at least a couple. Eddie, you don't like Eddie Murphy's?
Eddie is fun. I will give him that. He is enjoying the hell out of himself in the 2 albums that he did. But overall, he's like your average karaoke singer, I think, pretty much, if it wasn't for Rick James' production, I think the funniest thing I've ever seen him do was off of his comedy album, where he did a version of Donna Summer and Barbra Streisand's "Enough Is Enough," where he did it, half of it as Buckwheat and half of it as another character he played, Mr. Robinson, I think. And
falling back to his Saturday Night Live days.
Yeah, it was a riot. That was funny.
You didn't like Party All the Time?
It was okay. Yeah, I didn't mind it. I did not
like a music video.
That song was terrible.
Which one?
Put Your Mouth on Me. It was the first single from his second album. I wasn't really a big fan of that.
Boogie in Your Butt, I think, was another hit that he had. Strange man. But yeah. Arsenio Hall.
Tyler Reed sounds familiar. I don't know why. I'm going to put that out.
To be in Tyler Reed. Tyler Reed, huh? I can check it out.
Yeah, it sounds. I don't know why that sounds familiar, but it does.
Tyler Reed band. Tyler Reed rock band.
I have recently. I have featured a couple of extreme sports people who are making music on my Kirkham Report segment, Artists You Should Know. I'm going to be releasing a special compilation of all of those artists you should know this Wednesday over on my channel. Snowboarder Luke Matrani, who has been, he was one of the hottest rising snowboarders out there, younger brother of Jack, who they're both part of the group called Friends, which includes some of the big snowboarders of the day. He had an accident during a competition, broke his neck. He was in a halo for 6 months, and he decided to get out of snowboarding as a competitor and focus on his music. And he has released 3 outstandingly good albums over the last 4 years. And I mean, you have to like his style. He's very sing-song. He has a very Grateful Dead-ish type of vibe going through his stuff, but it's pop and it's hip hop and it's all rolled into one. And I love his stuff. He's really an amazing artist, and the creative videos he's come up with have been amazing too. The other one is a rising young skateboarder named Sonny Soljack, who most people may know him as the star of the Jonah Hill film mid-90s a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
He was 13. He's now 17. He's been making his own hip hop music for about 3 years. And I'm not the biggest of hip hop fans. It has to be really good for me to get into it. And I really like Sonny's stuff. You can find it on Spotify and SoundCloud. More of it's on Spotify. But he is, the piece I did on him shows him recording some stuff. And it's somebody that if you like that kind of music, you may be interested in checking him out.
So going back to Tyler Reed, it says Tyler Reed's an actor known for Shortland Street in '92, Power Rangers, Dino Thunder 2004, Hercules: Legendary Journeys in '95. So if that is the actor that you're talking about, Michael, that's kind of cool.
Actually, he's talking about an indie band by that name.
Yeah, but I think it's the same person, if I'm not mistaken. Could be.
That might be why it sounds familiar, though.
It might be. If that's the same guy. I mean, if it... There you go. Check it. I'm looking. Don't mind me.
Arsenio
Hall.
Hall.
Jackson.
Arsenio Hall did a comedy album by an act called Chunky A. He put himself into a fat suit and did some rap music, and it's actually quite funny and not half bad, but I've never heard him sing straight across, so I don't know how good he is on that.
I think I've seen him sing without a fat suit. I'm just trying to remember if it was on a show.
I'm sure he's a talented dude.
Yeah. Oh, Brandy. Aria Grande.
Yep.
Yeah.
Started as actresses and singers.
That's amazing.
Along with Damian.
I know them more for their singing.
And all those, Hillary Duff, all those people.
I've heard of them before as singers. They came in, to my knowledge anyway, came through as singer first.
Thank you, Jennifer, for the link.
Jennifer is here, rocking the Casbah.
One of the greatest movies where you get a chance to see some people that you don't normally think of as musicians perform is, I'm trying to remember what year it came out, 2010, I think. Prairie Home Companion, the film on the long running radio show. I mean, I never knew Woody Harrelson could sing. I never knew L.Q. Jones could sing. I never knew John C. Reilly could sing before I saw that. I still don't think Lily Tomlin can sing that well, but I never did. But she was great.
No, she's better as an actress. She's just better as an actress.
She was great. That movie is a great film, and if you've never seen it, it's definitely a quirky little piece of work, and it does.
I have seen it. It is a great movie. Because number one, I really like Prairie Home Companion on public radio. It's always fun.
I was never a fan of the show. I liked it when they went to TV in the mid '80s when the Disney Channel was carrying it. Then I got into it, but just as a radio show, I never got into it.
Yeah, I liked it on the radio, and I picked up old copies of it. So but it's a great movie. I just recently picked the movie up, and I'm going to rewatch it because it is a lot of fun.
The movie's great. I love the movie. Yeah. But it's a great place to hear people you don't normally hear. The same goes for the Mamma Mia movies. There's a lot of people in those movies that are terrific.
Pierce Brosnan is not one of them.
No, he's not, but he gives us his best. Colin Firth isn't half bad, and neither is Stellan Skarsgård. And of course, the ladies, Christine Baranski,
and her version
Does Your Mother Know completely floored me with how good she was. She was funny as hell. And Meryl's great. Meryl's a great singer, and she doesn't do it that often, but when she does do it, she makes it work. So
I agree. So I'd love to hear more from the chat. Did you guys come up with any other ones that just kind of surprised you or made you go, what? What the heck? Who the heck? Oh my gosh, I didn't even have any idea that these people could sing. Yeah. Did you freeze again, sir? Uh-oh. Oh, there he is.
Oh, you did just then. Okay. I didn't freeze. You froze on my end, though.
Well, you guys can tell us who froze first. The chicken or the egg?
Your freezing thing. I do have a bit of trivia for you. Does anybody know, and some of the chat might know, who Cheryl Stoppelmore is? Don't cheat, Dawn.
Oh, I'm not cheating. My hands are right here. I can't Google. I want to say Cheryl Tiegs.
Nope.
But who was also had an album, by the way.
Did she? I don't know that. I didn't know that. Okay. Cheryl Stoppelmore was the voice of Melody in the Josie and the Pussycats television series, the singing voice of Melody. And later in life, after she got married, she was known as one of Charlie's Angels, Cheryl Ladd.
Close. I want to say close. Do I get it? Do I get any point for close?
You were close. Yeah, you were close. Same era, right era. But yeah, Cheryl Ladd's the albums I have by her, I love. She's an incredible vocalist, and Linda Carter too, the same way. Linda was never that. Her album did go gold in the 70s, but she didn't record again until 2006. And she's doing standards when she does them now, but she can still do it. She's still a fantastic singer.
Very cool. Very cool. Good guess. Yeah, we tried. Cheryl Ladd. Yes, Pink, you got it.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. We should give prizes for if you can guess this trivial.
I've already given out more than enough prizes this weekend. Thank you.
Well, you have been doing a wonderful job of yes, and not only that, but what is your final count roughly for your push to 200?
At the time when we finished the contest, it's added a couple since then. It's at 473.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's absolutely amazing.
Now I need to get 500 so I can use Easy Caps.
Yeah, so his next giveaway will be in 2 weeks, I guess.
I just gave away $200 plus, so it's like okay.
Yeah, no, and you did a really cool job of that.
I don't know if Lucy Lawless did an album.
Lucy Lawless. Now you would think, because I have heard her sing. I can't remember where it was. It might have been back during her whole Xena phase. Or not. Or when she was guest starring on every other sci-fi / fantasy show. Because she showed up in a lot of things. She even showed up in freaking
she did Agents
V,
of S.H.I.E.L.D.,
wasn't she?
Too.
She was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think she was in V.
I didn't see the new V at all, so I don't know.
I don't know if it was the new one or the old one, truth be told. Because I haven't seen the new one either.
I don't think she...
I don't know.
I don't know. She might have been way back then. It's been ages.
She got around for a while there. She was in everything. I swear. You know, the opening of an envelope, as they say, she'd show up for.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So anybody else? Who else we got? We've come up with some good ones. My goodness, that's a much larger list than I thought.
Yeah, there's tons of actors and stuff that have done like one single that never led to an album. Oh, thank you, Mary. Lucy did an album called Come to Mama.
All right. My wife knows Google.
Yeah.
Thank you, darling. Thank you very much.
I mean, back in the 70s, it was practically, you had a hit TV series, you got a contract to do at least at 45.
Yeah, exactly.
When I was a wee little kid reading Tiger Beat every now and then, which is that even still around? I don't even know if it's still around.
I don't believe it's still around, but I still have some clippings from Tiger Beat if you want some.
Oh, I still have some too. I remember seeing ads for Chad Everett's single.
Yes.
And Rick Ely. I actually have Rick Ely's album, and people are like, "Who's Rick Ely?" I don't know what happened to him, but he was on a show called The Young Rebels for a year.
Oh, okay.
And of course, David Soul had some success with his career. He was a singer first before he got into acting, and then after acting,
yeah. But like it depends, I guess, where you know him first from. So like first, I saw him act. Like a good example is Hugh Jackman plays Wolverine. That's how I got to know him first.
Yeah, me too.
And it's like, and the guy belts out a heck of a
tune. Oh my
God,
he's a song and dance man extraordinaire. Yes,
it's like holy crap. It just surprised me. So, yeah, stuff like that.
And I mean, I even have as I said, another person had it in the contest which matched with me. I do have a 12-inch single released in the 80s by Raquel Welch. A song called This Girl's Back in Town. It was not a success.
Oh, sorry for her.
But a lot of stars have done one-shots like that here and there and had some success and some haven't. So,
yeah, true.
Yep, Keith Sutherland has released albums too. Yep. Although if they are as
Linda Lavin, DC says. Wow.
Kiefer
Why
Sutherland,
are you laughing?
He's the wrong person to talk to me about.
Oh, Kiefer Sutherland. I thought you were laughing at DC.
Linda Lavin? No, she's an awesome singer.
Yeah, she is.
Kiefer Sutherland is a great singer. He's a terrific singer, but his acting is good in 24.
And that's it.
I've seen.
Lost Boys.
Okay, Lost Boys. Have you seen Pompeii?
No, I can't say that I have.
Pompeii is
he in that?
as bad as it's as bad. It deserved the terrible reviews it got. I went because I wanted to see it. I'm a disaster movie fan, so I was like, I'm going to go and watch it anyway.
And that was like the ultimate disaster movie. Yeah,
for 3D, which is a bunch of ashes floating around. Kiefer Sutherland eats more scenery in that movie than Charlton Heston eats in all the disaster movies he did in the 70s.
Really?
It is so
he
fun.
Turned into Heston?
He's hilarious, and the movie is not supposed to be funny. Kiefer Sutherland makes that movie hilarious, and it is all over the top. He's this like lecherous, Roman senator that has on the hero's girl, and it's hilarious.
He went for that role. He watched Caligula, and then he moved on from there.
We do our own masochistic movies, but we have never sat through Caligula.
It's hard to sit through Caligula.
I can't even get Kim to watch Pompeii with me because it's terrible. And we love bad movies, and we love to skewer them when we were doing our podcast, which hopefully we'll be back next month sometime. And
did Wayne Newton act first? Is the question from DC?
No.
Newton. No. I think was singing first, babe.
He was singing when he was like 10.
Yeah,
and he didn't start acting
young.
until he was in his 20s, I don't think.
He was
so.
Way young, for sure.
Along that road, veer off a minute from the music. People associated with music, but not musicians. It's sometimes bizarre to see them acting.
Yeah.
Dick Clark did a number of acting roles. I remember him playing a racetrack owner in an episode of Adam 12. He was an assassin in some feature film he produced in the late 60s.
Wow.
And I'm like, Dick Clark, really? Mr. Fun bloopers guy, bandstand guy?
Yep.
Pyramid host, funny? No, I can't see this. And Casey Kasem. Casey's known for voiceover acting for sure. People know Casey from playing, everything from Shaggy on Scooby-Doo and Robin on Super Friends to Mark in Battle of the Planets and all these other shows, but he would occasionally do on-screen appearances. And the first time I ever saw him, I had become a fan thanks to American Top 40, and I also knew he was doing the voice of Alexander Cabot on Josie and the Pussycats. And I was very disappointed to see Casey did not look like Alex.
Aww.
I was like 7 or 8. But hey,
Veronica, how you doing, hon?
You think of them usually as associated with music from their careers of Bandstand or American Top 40, and you don't think of them as actors unless they do voiceovers.
Hey, Card Shop Reality. No, again, Beaker does not count. Don't talk to my wife. Stay with you. Just don't give her any ideas. Don't give her any ideas.
Sorry, Mary, I'm not nearly as good at it as you are.
Nobody is. Nobody is. She's got Beaker.
Myra, I'm 100% with you on that. 2012, another terrible movie, but man, the special effects are awesome.
Probably better than Pompeii. It sounds like.
Pompeii was fine. It was just the movie was terrible, and the same with 2012. It was not a great movie, but the effects were amazing.
Yeah, sure.
That's one thing we found out from Roland Emmerich. Roland Emmerich and his partner Dean Devlin have made some of the worst films of all time, but they always have great special effects. Movies like the 1998 Godzilla, which Kim refers to as Fluffy the Giant Iguana.
Yes.
And then there was...
he did Independence Day, though.
He did Independence Day. That was the only thing he did. And then Dean Devlin did... what was the name of that thing with Gerard Butler? With the satellites controlling the weather. I can't remember the name of it, but what I saw of that movie is god-awful. And even the effects are bad.
I don't know what that is. we've strayed over into movies and critiquing
You got
disaster movies. It's okay. It's all right. Ice-T. Yeah. Straight over into acting at that
I
point.
wonder how many people realize Ice-T had a musical career before he started acting. He's been on Law and Order for so many years that I bet today's generation probably don't really realize he was an actor.
I did.
Or a singer.
I mean, yeah. I first remember him. Queen Latifah. Ooh. And a damn good one, I might add.
Yeah.
Not only is she the music chops for sure, but she can act her way straight. I mean, some of the movies I really like, she's done. You know, it's like Last Holiday is one that comes to mind. It's really good. So
Queen Latifah rocked really well in Hairspray. She had a great rapport with the whole cast, and she was terrific. And you really got to hear her let loose her singing chops there too.
Yeah,
because people were used to her more for her rapping for the first couple of albums, and then she started singing more.
She can still sing that.
She's got it. Yeah.
Are you kidding me, DC? Jada Pinkett had a metal band. Really? What? Is she messing with me, or is that truth?
I don't know, but it might be. You never know.
Now I gotta look it up. Jada Pinkett.
Moonfall, was that one of his too? I don't remember. I can't remember that. That might have been the one I'm thinking of. I actually.
Oh my God. Yes, it's true. A new metal band. Wow. Wicked Wisdom. Wow. That was in her younger days. But no, she's still with him. I don't know. I mean, it's just amazing. That I did not see coming.
Veronica, that was nasty.
What'd Veronica say?
I whip my hair back and forth. I whip my hair back and forth. Oh my God. I can't believe that song was actually a top 40 hit. It's like, oh, really? Okay. I mean, it's cute, but you hear it once and it's enough for your lifetime.
Like okay, Fern Gully. I'm not sure what Fern Gully's referencing, Myra. Fern Gully.
I've never seen the movie Fern Gully. I don't know if that's the right one.
It's animated. I mean, it's yeah. I knew exactly what she asked. Yes, you did.
Exactly what you were talking about, Veronica.
Yeah, you know. Okay, there's news to me again. That's the second most shocking thing I've seen today is that Jada Pinkett Smith has a metal band. Huh? There's just stuff in the world that I'm not ready to know, I guess.
There's actors that are always, moonlighting, like the Bacon Brothers band, like Dog Star, which was Keanu Reeves' band. They did a couple of albums in the 80s and the 90s. And, you could find him every now and then. You'd find an act like Jared Leto, and he's in, which band is he in? the emo stuff, 30 Seconds from Mars. Is that the name of the band?
I don't know.
They had a few hits. The Wallows.
Does he play Morbius or something? Isn't he in the Marvel universe?
He's in the Sony.
The Sony Marvel universe, I should say. Universe. Sonyverse.
They bring him into Spider-Man, then he might be in the Marvel universe overall. So.
Yeah. Sony's having problems, by the way, but hey, we'll talk about that later. Okay, yeah, Card Shop Reality's coming in with we did cover Eddie Murphy, and we have mixed reviews on that one. I kind of like Party All the Time.
Yeah,
I like some other songs. There's some other songs that maybe not.
Oh, Ice-T did Fern Gully. He did a voice for Fern Gully. Okay.
Oh, did he? Good to know. He played it Carnivorous Lizard. I could see that. Now we got to rewatch Fern Gully. Oh my gosh. Rick James. Yeah, that's true. Very much. He was just channeling Rick James.
You know who surprised me with a singer? I mean, I've always enjoyed his work as a wrestler. But whenever I heard Dwayne Johnson sing in WWE, it was always a comical thing. He blew my mind in Moana. I mean, he really stole that movie with his vocals and everything.
Yeah.
And I think he admitted he took some lessons and learned how to really do it. And I mean, that was terrific. I don't think he's going to be cutting an album anytime soon,
No,
but
but he's got a good speaking voice, and he projects
Oh,
well, so I can see where he can make it work. Robin Williams was in Fern Gully.
That's a topic for a future show, by the way.
Fern Gully?
Disney music. We could spend hours on Disney music.
We could. Seriously. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I was like, what are your thoughts on having a song in a movie and then having another group or person sing it for the for the charts? What is your thoughts on that? That's your next topic right there.
That sucks.
I agree. Sometimes I like the original better. All right, real quick. We're going off topic here again, but hey, This is what we do. In the movie, Fievel Goes to whatever, America or whatever that movie was, the mouse. You remember the mouse? Yeah.
Yeah.
The song "Somewhere Out There" is sung much better by the mouses than it is. I mean, that's me. Take it as you will. I think that the mice, the two little characters singing it, the voice will bring me to tears much sooner than the chart released version. So there you go.
Yeah.
There's my 2 cents. Thank you very much.
There were 2 different versions of that out. Linda Ronstadt and James Ingram had a big hit nationally, and the Kirkham Report had a hit by the Jets, who recorded it on their Christmas album. And they both did it well, but yeah, I agree. It was much better in the movie. Have you seen Sing Street, Dawn?
No.
Sing Street is a great film, and if you like good, fun, family-oriented musicals, the thing that irritated me is the music, which was written by the gentleman who was the lead singer for I'm going to forget the name of the band, the Dream Academy, Nick Laird.
Oh, okay.
Okay. They do a great song, and of course, the movie is set in the 80s, and it's about this kid who wants to impress this girl, so he starts a band in this new school he's going to, and he teams up with this musician, and every song they do is inspired by another band, sound similar. So when they do one song, they get inspired by Hall & Oates and come up with a song called "Drive It Like You Stole It." Now, the leader of this band is an impeccable, amazing vocalist by the name of Ferdia Walsh-Pilo. He currently leads a new band. I can't remember the name of the band right off the top of my head. For some reason, when they released the album, the album, they also included a single version by Hudson Thames, who was one of the members of, what was the name of the boy band on Nickelodeon?
Dream Academy? What?
The Big Time Rush. He was one of the members of Big Time Rush. And he did, and Ferdy's vocal is way better. And I'm like, I mean, they're both good, but why did they feel the necessary to release a separate version when Ferdy's, if you pushed it, could have been a hit? Of course, nowadays you don't have hits like that for movies anymore, but it's now you might, because Encanto took off so well, but back in 2016 when Sing Street came out, you didn't do that much. And
Encanto turned out really actually to be quite popular. I was surprised by that.
I still haven't seen it, but I did.
We don't have the Disney Channel.
Yeah, we do. I just haven't watched it. I haven't watched
it. Had a chance?
We don't do a lot of streaming movies because we prefer to see them in the theater, and we're too chicken to go back to the theaters. So
you gotta give it up eventually. Get a bigger TV. Get a big TV and a 5-way sound system.
Yeah, but that's not the same as all the people around you applauding and reacting.
And breathing on you.
Exactly.
What they need to do is set it up on YouTube so you can have like the movie not being played, but just the audience reaction, and then you sync it up like you would Dark Side of the Moon and The Wizard of Oz.
That stuff all the time with other older movies. We need to do it with more current films, and I know that, and Kim knows that, and one of these days we'll get around to doing it.
Yeah, Disney owns Muppets and Beaker. Just quick checking the chat here. The Alicia Cara version of How Far I'll Go, Not a Fan. Okay. Would you like to share why, Veronica?
It's not the original.
It's not the original.
Again, it's not a
Can't
Lily
look
Crawford.
at Dwayne. Can't look at Dwayne Johnson and not see him in a tutu. The Tooth Fairy probably ruined him for a lot of people, Myra. I'm sorry. I've seen the horror movie
period when he was doing stuff that he shouldn't have been doing.
Yeah, Sylvester Stallone got that way too. He just started doing movies he shouldn't have done.
Yeah. Dwayne bounced back though. I mean, he's bounced.
The Tooth Fairy, the horror movie is much better. Somewhere beneath the pale moonlight. Exactly. Yeah, Encanto is very good. Yeah.
You know, that is a good point though. Why does Disney do that with their major films? I mean, the big hit out of Aladdin was A Whole New World, performed by Peebo Bryson and Regina Bell, not by I think Brad somebody and Leah Salonga did the voices.
I think it's a fact. I think that's the reason right there is that you know the first two names.
Yeah.
Right off the top of your head, you don't know the second two names, and they want it to be a hit. They want they want to make money on it.
Maybe that, but I mean that when you think about it, that and Beauty and the Beast were the last two big hits from a big Disney film. Oh no, You'll Be in My Heart was a hit too from Tarzan.
And you know, Beauty and the Beast, I still there's another one. I still like the Angela Lansbury version of that versus the one we got. It's beautiful. They're both beautiful songs. They're both the same song done beautifully, but I don't know. It might just go down to the fact that I heard her version first because I watched the movie.
Here's a discovery for Veronica.
Okay.
I have to pull the name up from my head. Veronica, Connor Engstrom. Look up the name Connor Engstrom for an incredible heavy metal version of Let It Go from Frozen.
Oh, cool.
He teams up with another singer. I have to look it up to find his name. And it is outstanding. I mean, I love covers that make, do different styles that you don't expect them to be. And hearing Connor he also teamed up with the same guy to do a heavy metal cover of the theme from Power Rangers, which is also awesome. But I mean, it is fantastic.
So my theory, besides DC's, this is marketing, which makes sense, is the fact that where Veronica's saying they didn't re-record Encanto and they did not re-record Frozen. That's because they already had the Broadway singers there to do it.
Yeah.
And they did it, and they were the voices, and that's what they wanted, And somebody at Disney finally realized that, people who are Broadway pretty much sound good, and they're famous. So why don't we get them to play the parts that we want, to have our musicals on?
By the same token, though, why didn't they release singles from the Broadway version of Newsies? Newsies was a bomb.
I have my theory.
And it produced no hits. And then when they finally, as I said, I told Kim back when the movie came out, one day this is going to be a Broadway smash, and it was. I was always surprised that they never tried to push the music again. They never pushed Coco.
I wasn't a big fan of Newsies. Sorry.
I love the movie.
Don't hate me.
No, that's up to you.
I know.
It's not the best movie. It's just fun, weird entertainment.
Little Debbie. Burt Reynolds had an album.
Did he do a whole album? I know he sang on some different soundtracks, but I don't know if he ever did a whole album. He might have. Betty Davis did an album. So, actually. And one of the biggest surprises I got recently was the discovery that Carol Channing recorded a series of country western singles in the mid-1970s.
Really?
I'd
like to hear.
I actually have purchased one, and I'm going to get a few of the other ones because I think Carol was just phenomenally an amazing person as well as an actor.
Might I find those on YouTube? I should go check those out.
I don't know. I think a couple of them are there. If you haven't seen the documentary about Carol Channing, you should. It's a riot. and unfortunately,
Dave
no
says
longer with us.
Dave
He was
says
terrific.
the movie The Greatest Showman was okay, but the soundtrack was amazing. I'd agree with that.
That happens occasionally.
It does.
I'll be damned.
Xanadu.
Yes. Yes.
Speaking of movies that are shit, but I
And
mean, no, I
to some
like
extent,
Xanadu.
music is too. Same
Yeah,
way. The
true.
soundtrack is better. Ask
I
Me
like
What I
Xanadu.
Am by Burt Reynolds country album. Wow. I did not know that.
Ask Me What I Am. That's a bold title. Truly. Bold title to put on an album. I wouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. You guys have had a lot of good, really good names of people that I wouldn't even thought of on both sides of the equation. You know, singers who would act, and actors and sports people, and everybody that put out music that I had no idea was out there. So that's very cool. Discogs is my friend tonight, says Mary. She's looking stuff up.
Of course, it has to be said, since we did mention politicians at the beginning of this. There was actually a top 40 hit by a senator named Everett Dirksen in the 1960s. It was a recitation of an old poem called Gallant Men. And many people thought it was aimed at the Vietnam War. I don't think that's what it was. I'm actually going to be doing
spoken word or sung?
Spoken word.
Okay.
And it was actually, I actually have his Christmas album, which I haven't listened to yet. It's coming up this Christmas. I got it after last Christmas. So, but it'll be part of my Christmas rotation this year. We'll see what it's like.
Oh, interesting. So Myra said this, and then little Debbie said that. So there you go. So yeah, Johnny Cash, Depeche Mode songs.
Yeah. Well, Johnny Cash is one of the most critically acclaimed songs he did in his last years was his cover of Trent Reznor's "Hurt."
Mm-hmm.
Kim can't listen to that version of that song without bawling like a baby, and she would not be ashamed to admit that. It's an incredible version of that song. I was never fond of the Nine Inch Nails version, but I love Johnny Cash's version.
Well, I take Johnny Cash in small doses. Dave, we did talk about Eddie Murphy, and we know that "Party All the Time" is probably your favorite song. I'm thinking. Rick Rubin produced it. Hurt. Oh, okay. Yeah. Neat.
I actually added the second album to my collection. I haven't gotten the first one yet of the American recordings from Johnny Cash, because those were amazing stuff.
Well, now I've got a whole list of stuff to go check. Seriously, that's part of the reason I love doing this, is that I get to pick out all this cool stuff and find, hey, eDreams, how you doing? You got a Brent Spiner.
Yes, I was actually going to bring that up earlier too. The album Old Yellow Eyes is back.
And Nichelle Nichols.
Mm-hmm.
Avery Brooks is a jazz singer. Yeah, because Avery Brooks has a hell of voice. So yeah,
those are all. Brent Spiner is a wonderful vocalist.
Yeah.
And Old Yellow Eyes is back is quite an interesting album. Particularly the song It's a Sin to Tell a Lie, where he has Patrick Stewart, Jonathan Frakes, and Michael Dorn doing backup vocals for him.
That's amazing.
So it's quite funny.
That's amazing. Okay, guys. I think we're gonna wrap it up. If you're good, TC.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Everybody's got stuff to do, as they say. Everybody, thank you for coming in. We so appreciate it. If you missed any, you want to check out what's going on, and you missed some of it, go ahead and sneak back and replay it. You might find some interesting things you want to do a little more research on. Yeah. And we would love to hear any topics. That's all about me. We would love to hear any topics that you would like to talk about next time when we're on TC's channel in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So please, we'd love to see you then as well.
I believe that would be, let me check real quick. 2 weeks is September 5th.
September 5th. Oh, yeah. Where did summer go?
I know.
Oh my God. So TC, you want to tell tell the children where you're going to be?
I'm always going to be at TKR VideoCentral. I have regular shows every day of the week. I have Obscuria Monday through Friday at 11. Influencers Tuesdays at 4. Rank This Thursdays at 4. My magazine show, the Kirkham Report, Saturdays at 4. And the Retro Pop Countdown Sundays at 4. And I will also be doing a couple of specials in the next few days, including the complete first series of Artists You Should Know. It'll be up Wednesday at 4 p.m.
Sweet. I'm looking forward to that. That's cool. Get it all in one thing.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Okay, everybody. You know where we'll be Tuesdays and Thursdays. Mary and I are right here at noon Eastern time to do our chick chat. We'd love to see you tomorrow. Wednesdays are on with Johnny and the gang for the Hump Day auction at 2. And then Mondays we're on with Mel and BMOS on their channel for the Death Pile clearance. 1 o'clock. We've got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of 45s. We had a lot of 45s on Wednesday, but we're also going to have a lot of CDs because we just did that huge buy/sale acquisition of a lot of different types of music. So we look forward to seeing you guys. Thanks for coming. And I guess we'll play us out now. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
You have kicks.